This is the fourth part of my simple series on golf that's going to help you be more consistent, and there's simple things that everyone should be working on. This is the one that I struggle with the most. It is aim. And I'm not sure if it's because my right eye is dominant or if it's because I've been hooking it my entire life and I always aim a little bit to the right. I don't know which one, but I know I have to work on it constantly to make sure that I'm aiming where I think I'm aiming. And I want to show you the only way I found to make it where it's consistent, both in practice and in play. And if you don't think this is important, all you have to do is go to a tour event and you go to the practice range and you watch the best players in the world. They're going to have something, whether it's aiming sticks, a club, an umbrella, maybe a line, maybe a rope, or a guy behind them making sure that they're aiming where they think they're aiming. And the reason why is this, is if our aim gets off a little bit here, then when it's 150 yards down the way, it's off a bunch. So when we shoot a gun, our eyes only work one way. They work down the line. I can aim that at the center of that camera all day long looking down that shaft. But if I have to do this, the chances of me getting it very accurate are slim. It's the way our eyes work. When we look at that line on the ground, whether even those sticks, if I get behind it and aim that at the flag, and I get back over and I look at that stick and I'm going, that ain't right. Even though I know I've already done it, I've already checked it, I looked at it from down the line. Our eyes will play tricks on us because we're at angles. And it's maybe just the way we're built. It could be just me, but I don't think so. I watched a tour event, it's been many years ago, and Vijay Singh, who's one of the best players in the world at the time, and I think it was a major championship. It was in the second or third round. He's playing, he's in the hunt, he's playing really good golf, and he's hitting shots about 20 feet, maybe right of where he thought he should be hitting them. So when he gets done, of course, he goes to the practice facility, gets out on the range, and he lays an umbrella or something down, and he figures out he's aiming right of where he thought he was aiming when he was playing his round. And if that guy can do it as much as he practiced at that time, and he could get off, I know I can too. So this is what I do to make sure that when I do practice, I practice this almost exclusively because it helps me aim where I think I'm aiming, one, and it helps me to swing down the line that I'm trying to swing on. So here's the scenario we would do. So I'm gonna set a ball down there. So I've got a ball, and let's say this is, we're on the practice range, and I'm just gonna set something down there along this, real close to that ball. This is where I wanna practice from. Let's say we're on the range and we're gonna set up a practice area. All right, I'm gonna take that first one. All right, and I've got it aimed at my target. It's aimed at that flag on that green there, and that's probably, I don't know, 100, right at 150, maybe a little more. I'm gonna take this black aiming stick, and I'm gonna set it down. Now, if you'll notice, my body is nowhere near pointing where that's pointing. My body is left of that target. I am parallel left. If I were to aim my body, and I see this a whole lot, people think they need to aim their shoulders, hips, feet, whatever, at their target. Well, then they would be aiming where? Right of their target, at least their ball and their club would be aiming right of the target. For them to ever hit a ball back at that target, they've got to manipulate that. They've got to do something to sweep that back. Shut the club down, over the top. None of them are pretty. So let's just do this. Let's make sure that this line is at our target. This line is parallel left, just like railroad tracks. Always are parallel left. If we can set our body on this track where our feet are the same distance from this one, and then we can align our club, I'm going to be swinging pretty much at my flag. If my club face is fairly square, let's say my grip is good and my club face is fairly square, then I got a chance. By setting up a scenario like this, aiming sticks, it helps us to train our eyes. If I practice this every day and I know that stick or shaft or whatever I'm using, if I pop a line, whatever it may be, is aiming at my target, and I practice my address position, I'm going to get used to seeing what is square. If I practice being not square or not parallel left, I'm training my eyes to see something that they really shouldn't be seeing. I'm training my eyes to see something that I've got to manipulate to hit a golf shot. So what happens when I really aim where I'm supposed to be aiming? I stand over this ball, and I see this a lot. In my teaching, players will come to me all the time and they're aiming way offline, and I get them square and I'll go, okay, I want you to look at your target. Tell me what you feel, what you see. And they're like, oh man, I'm aiming way over there. That's because they have trained enough to where they have trained their eyes to believe that that's aiming where they're supposed to be aiming. Again, our eyes don't work like this. We've got to have something on the ground. So let's say we don't have that. We can't use sticks when we play. Wish we could. So let's say we have our balls on the ground, and you see this a lot. You'll see a tour player, and sometimes you may not see this because on TV, which right now during our times, our TV is, we're not seeing any live events, but when you see a tour event, whether it's ladies, men, seniors, whatever it may be, they go usually straight to the player hitting the shot. But every one of them, I would say without a doubt, starts out behind their ball. And you'll see them doing this. They're picturing a line, a starting line, the shape of shot they're trying to hit, and they're gonna find something on the ground, we call it an intermediate target, is something close enough that you can actually aim at and know exactly that you're pointing where you think you're pointing. It makes all the difference in the world in being able to hit good golf shots. So here's how that would work. I would want to get behind my ball, and I'm going to pick something out on the ground. I got a little light blade of grass, and this is how we would set up to this. This is very important. Aim your club at the intermediate target, then build your stance around that. You'll see all variations of this, but they're going to set up, they're looking at their target, their intermediate target, boom, they're there, build their stance, and then they're going to pull the trigger. That's going to ensure them that they are aimed, or you, or me, that we are aimed as good as we can be aimed while we're on the golf course. I do this on every single shot. If I don't do this, I'm probably going to hit a poor shot because I'm not going to trust. I'm just hitting it into oblivion. There's no roadmap. Always make sure your aim is where you think it is. It's one of the most important things you can do to make sure you're consistent. We want our feet, we want our knees, we want our hips, we want our shoulders, And we want our forearms to all match. Boom, parallel left. And it's very easy to see. You could set your iPhone up on the ground behind you or on a basket or whatever and film that, and you'll be able to tell right away within seconds, yeah, I'm aiming good, or no, I'm not. So I hope this helps your game. I know it will. Put it into practice, and I promise you it's going to make you a better player from now on. And it's something you're going to do forever. So don't give up on this. Appreciate you following along in this simple series. Got some more videos coming, so subscribe to my channel and hit that bell. It'll notify you when the next one comes out. And again, appreciate you watching. Thanks.